So welcome back to the chase. Uh, After 1.1 over Sri Lanka, Ireland are 6 for no loss, chasing the target of 164. Sorry for the delay, and I'm back here now. Just grabbing my lunch and just eating my lunch dinner now. Beg your pardon. Um, Mahisha Tikshna into the attack. Second over for Sri Lanka. They're defending a target of 164. The spinners will be crucial here for Sri Lanka here. The required run rate 8.46. Was that a drop chance? Tikshana too close to cut from Paul Sterling there. Did the keeper drop the catch there? He fumbled it, probably. Let's have a look at it once again. Darted in by Tikshana, and probably there was a fine edge. He drops the catch, tries to go on the rebound, but unfortunately the ball falling onto the stumps. Otherwise, it would have been an easy catch on the rebound. Two, three attempts there, but fails to hold on to it. That'll just be a dot ball. This time, bowls in short, kept low on the batter. Sterling goes for the wild slog towards the leg stump, and he finds just one run towards the deep square leg region. Thank you to all our listeners who just joined in. Welcome to Sports Beyond Cancer. We are watching the 6th T20 International from the World Cup game, T20 World Cup 2026. I'm just grabbing my dinner now as we cover this game as Ireland are chasing 164. Beautiful shot in the arc. He goes over the infield towards the mid-off. It goes between the mid-off and the cover region. 4 runs for Markade there, and that will be the end of the over. 12 for no loss after 2 overs. A steady start for Ireland there. They require 152 more runs. Sri Lanka earlier were put into bat by Ireland. All they could manage was 163 for 6. A late flourish in the batting order there, especially with Kamindu Mendes and Kusal Mendes, especially Kamindu Mendes, scoring at the rate of 231 and scoring 44 of 19 to provide the much required impetus in the end to take Sri Lanka to 163 for 6. So that's been the story so far. Good bowling there out by the Ireland spinners today, especially Dockrell, who's wonderful for picking up 2 wickets of his 4 overs, just giving away 17 runs. And Delaney, who bowled 4 overs, 1 for 24. Matisha Pathirana, he's back into the attack now. Just give me a couple more minutes. I will be back live on the camera as I'm just finishing off my dinner here. Pathirana well wide outside the leg stump, and that's been wonderfully kept there by Kusal Mendes there. That's been the main issue with Pathirana. He's bowled a lot of wide balls within his short spell for Sri Lanka as well as in the franchise cricket. Kindly excuse me as I'm just having my dinner as well as covering this live stream. Paul Sterling onto the pads. He tries to heave it through the leg side. All he can do is get some bat on it, or maybe it's a leg bite. Goes to the short third man fielder, and the batters easily complete 1 run there. Matisha Patirana with a change in his action lately. He's working on his action. Once again, the batter backs away from the leg stump. A Yorker delivery outside the off stump. He manages to squeeze it towards the cover region. Good fielding out there. He stops the ball. And that'll just be 1 run to the batter there. Wonderful, wonderful fielding there. A full stretch drive. A left-handed dive. A dive towards his left-hand side. He managed to get some fingers there. And a word of appreciation there from the bowler. Wonderful, wonderful stop there to save a well-deserved boundary from the bat of R. Adair. This time, probably a slower one angling into the batter. And Sterling doesn't time it well, but nevertheless, he goes over the infield, goes towards the deep mid-wicket region. 4 runs there. He wouldn't be happy with the shot. Poor timing there from Sterling. A slower one there from Patirana, and Paul Sterling early into the shot, but managed to get an edge that flies over the fielder at mid-wicket and rolls into the boundary fence. .3 overs, 19 for no loss. The required rate 8.29. Matish Patirana running in. Once again, the ball kept low. And Paul Sterling goes for the wild swing towards the leg side, completely missing the line and length of the ball. That'll be a dot ball to Patirana. He's wearing his pace very well out there. Bangs in shot. Early into the shot, Paul Sterling. It hits his body or probably his helmet. But the batters scamper for a quick run. And Sterling has dropped his bat along the process. Will there be a concussion test here? He seems to be fine. Once again, rolling the finger there. A slow bouncer. The ball hits onto his shoulder and then goes on to hit his helmet. Nothing serious there. The batters cross for a leg bye. This time, once again unlucky on the bowler there. Wild swing from the batter there. It was angling into the pads. And the ball finds the edge of the bat and goes to the fine leg region. 4 runs there for the taking. 24 runs after 3 overs. A good start there for Ireland here, as they are en route this chase of 164 set by Ireland there, Sri Lanka there. Kindly excuse me, I'll be back on the camera soon. I'm just finishing off my dinner, as we have covered 3 games on the trot today, bringing you all the games live from the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Day 2. What a spectacle it has been. England narrowly winning against Nepal today. What a game it was. A game for ages. Only if Nepal had won. Sam Curran, new beauty, producing a moment of magic. 4 Yorkers in the final over, defending 10 runs of the final over. This time Tikshna into the attack, bowling wonderful Yorker. No room there for the batter. That's going to be a dot ball. 24 for no loss after 3.1. Matisha Tikshna into his second over. He's been given the responsibility to bowl in the power play for Sri Lanka in this World Cup, and he's shouldering it well. Running into Sterling. Sterling struggling to find some timing here. He's 6 of 12, steps down the wicket, and that's a wonderful Yorker. And Mahisha Tikshna with his arrow celebrations looks to the sky, and he picks up the first wicket, and that'll be first blood drawn here for Sri Lanka. Wonderful bowling here. Cramped the batter for room. Sterling stepping down the wicket, trying to break the shackles. He was struggling on 13 of 6 of 12 balls. And the Shams go cartwheeling. Yorker straight in the middle. Straight in the block hole. Darted in by Mahisha Tikshrana. A wonderful, wonderful ball to send the Ireland captain back to the dressing room. Paul Sterling will have to make the long walk back, and that will be the first wicket for Ireland. 24 for 1 Ireland after 3.2 overs. Mahisha Tikshrana picking up the wicket of the Irish keeper here. 140 required in 100 balls. Cancer, we are in for the chase. Kindly excuse me. I just gone to grab some dinner, and we are back now. And a wonderful Yorker from Mahisha Tikshana there to remove the Irish keeper there, the dangerous Paul Sterling, who's been well renowned around the leagues in the world for his power hitting abilities. Unfortunately, today he wasn't able to time the ball, and he's been yorked by Mahisha Tikshana there. He has to depart, and that'll be Tector walks out in the middle, and he's off the mark with a single. Tikshana this time, well flighted delivery, goes for the cut shot, and that's dropped at short third man. Pathirana putting up a sitter there. He punched the ball in the air. The ball was traveling. A loose cut shot from Adair there. The ball finding the outside edge, and Pathirana stationed at short third man. Jumps in the air, couldn't hold on to it, doesn't latch onto it. A very well ball there, an off cutter flying off the edge, and he has dropped the catch, and the batter will get a reprieve here. And that'll be a dot ball hit straight back to the bowler there. .26 for 1 after 3.5. Wonderfully bowled, darting into the bowler. Off spinner there, and he tucks it away beautifully, calmly towards the wide of long on fielder there. My power play predictions, thank you for the message, Sundip there. My power play predictions would be Ireland need to get somewhere close to 40 to 45. It depends if they bring on Hassaranga to pile up on the spin attack on the Irish batters there. So I'm going to go with 45 for 1. Tunith Willalage has been in the ball now. 137 runs required from 95. That's the equation out there in the middle. 27 for 1 after 4.1. 137 from 95. Witalage, wonderfully flighted ball. Will he be able to reciprocate the way Dockrell, the left arm spinner, bowled for Ireland? Harry Tactor is exceptional with the drive shots and is wonderful with the long range shots, especially in the mid-wicket region. Witalage, wonderfully flighted delivery, pitching outside the off stump and travelling away from the batter. The batter can manage is all the batter can manage, tap it to short cover, and that will be a dot ball. Witalage, well flighted delivery, and this time he grows across the line. A wonderful sweep shot, and the ball sails deep into the stands in the deep mid-wicket region. The Irish fans are happier. A wonderful 6 for Adair there. Beautiful shot that brings Irish fans onto the toes. The ball was well flighted, angling into the batter. He moves his front leg across, goes for the slog sweep, and the ball sails into the stands, deep into the stands. That's a huge 92-meter 6. What a wonderful shot. This time darted in quick into the pads of the bowler. The batsman tried to tuck it down towards the fine leg. Doesn't get any contact on the bat, and that will be a dot ball. Once again, trying to go hard, trying to hit the ball way too hard rather than timing it. Gets the outside edge, inside edge, and onto his pads and back to the bowler. That will be no run there. Definitely Sundeep. I think 40 for 2 will be a good thing for Ireland, especially if they lose one more wicket along the way in this power play. But nevertheless, after 5, they are 34 for 1. 11 runs as per our target they need to achieve in this final over before the end of the over. Ireland requiring 130 of 90 overs. What a wonderful World Cup it has been until now. Sri Lanka's pacer Chamira is back to his Dushmanta. Chamira is back for his second over. He's running in hard. Bowls it down the leg. That's a flick shot. The ball goes over the flying field, over the fielder there in the mid-wicket region. The fielder from the backwards deep square leg region will cut it off for 2 runs. That'll just be 2 runs. Will Ireland look to maximize this power play? The last over before the end of the power play. How many more can they get? Will they have to take on the fast bowlers so that they can compensate, playing cautiously to the spinners at stake? Theekshana, Witalage, Hassaranga in the cards too. This is going to be a tough task for Ireland, especially with the likes of 3 quality spinners in the ranks of Sri Lanka. Will they have to compensate by going hard at these fast bowlers? Chamira running in once again into the wicket this time. Bangs in at good length and he taps it to the mid-on fielder there. Scampers for a quick single there. 37 for 1 after 5.2. The batsman dismissed Sterling, who struggled to find any timing out there. 13 balls faced, just 6 runs managed. The Irish keeper struggling to find any sort of timing out there in the middle, and eventually cleaned up by a Yorker by Mahisha Theekshana. Theekshana has bowled wonderfully well. 2 overs, 1 for 9. And Ross Adair in the middle out there battling it out. 21 of 12 balls. And this time he goes inside out over the infield. He's taking the charge to the opposition, and the ball rolls towards the cover region into the bobs. 4 runs for Ross Adair there. A wonderful shot. Backs away towards the leg side, manufactures the shot, makes room for himself, and slices the ball over the infield and utilizes the field restrictions at stake. The last over before the end of the power play, and a wonderful shot there. And Ireland are 41 for 1 after 5.3 overs. Can he get one more boundary to end before the end of this over? That'll put Ireland at a pretty decent stage, picking up 45 to 48 runs in this crucial chase as they look to end the power play on a positive note. This time the ball was climbing on him. Too late into the shot. A good take by Kusal Mendes there. The ball was climbing onto him too. But that'll be a dot ball. A well bowled bouncer. 140.7 clicks there. Shanaka generating some serious pace out there. Beg your pardon. Not Shanaka. Chamira generating some serious pace out there. Wonderful ball. Surprised the batter and keeper equally. A beautiful ball. 141 clicks on the delivery there. Chamira running in this time. Bowls the slow one. Leg cutter. And he's hit it past the bowler. Not convincingly. And somehow he's managed to get it to the boundary. Rolls down the ground, past the bowler, into the boundary ropes, and he'll take it. He won't be worried about the type of the shot, as long as it fetches him 4 runs. A slow leg cutter. The bat turns in his hands. He was early into the shot, but nevertheless, the ball off the edge goes straight past the bowler, and that'll be 4 runs. Lucky there for the island there. 119 from 85. Can Ireland win this game? This contest is definitely going down the wire with the likes of, once again, well-directed bouncer tries to back away towards the leg side, and Chamira wonderfully following him, giving him no room, tries to play the cut over the slip quadrant, missing the ball. That'll be a dot ball, and that'll be the end of the over after 6. Sri Lanka, Ireland are 45 for 1. And 11 runs coming off the over of the last ball of the last over just before the power play, and last over of the power play, and Ireland are 45 for 1 after 6 with 119 required of 84 balls. To all the ladies and gentlemen who have joined in for our live stream, thank you very much. This is Shourabh Vittalmurthy welcoming you all to taking this opportunity. It's going to be a drinks break now, so I'm going to take this opportunity to welcome you all to Sports Beyond Cancer. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for being a part of my fight. Thank you for being a part of this cause journey and for believing in me and giving me an opportunity to continue following my passion and pursue my interest in sports and sports journalism. So that's all about me, and here you are for the 6th T20I International in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Please don't forget to hit the like button. We are improving day by day. We are going to be coming up with more sporting actions from across the globe and more sporting verticals, including soccer, tennis, and much more. So that's me just learning and venturing into the YouTube space lately, because I've currently entered my remission phase, and that gives me time to get back into sports. This time not directly in the ground, but this time right from the comfort of my desk. And thank you for believing in me, and please share this journey. And thank you, Sandeep, for your message. That was a bang on prediction. Sort of just managed to guess that rightly there. Just a stroke of luck, just like the Nepal folks had today in the last few overs, but not in the final over. So let's see how this thing goes. Hopefully Sri Lanka can manage to defend today, or let's see if Ireland manages to upset. I'm not sure if I have to call this an upset, but I'm hoping this match to go down the wire too, especially with the likes of Hassaranga. How are the Irish batters going to manage the 2 overs left from Tikshana and 4 overs left from Hassaranga? That's going to be the key. Are they going to play them out and target the rest of the bowlers? So that is something that needs to be seen, how things go. So the 6th match today, right from our Premadasa Stadium here, Premadasa Stadium, Colombo, and Sri Lanka being asked to bat, scored 164 for 8, courtesy Kusal Mendes scoring 56, not out, and Kaminda Mendes with a strike rate of 231.58, scoring 44 of 19 balls. Dumit Velalage into the attack. He's been thrown the ball and that'll be 1 run. Ross on strike now. He's on 20 now 16. That'll be a wide ball. Pitched well outside the off stump. And the ball pitches and turns well away from the batter outside the wide guidelines. And that'll be a wide ball as the umpire flexes his arms. Once again, this time bowled in short, bowled in quick. Outside the off stump, the battinger hitting it to the wide of the fielder there at long off. Only opportunity for 1 run there. Ross there, his strong record with the drive. He targets in front of square heavily. That's his stats there. That's his strength there. Don't bowl in his arc. He's wonderful, wonderful through the cover regions. Wonderfully flighted delivery and he's played a back foot cut shot. And the ball goes to the backward point region. And the fielder at the sweeper cover will run to his left and cut the ball and keep the batters only at 2 runs. Wonderfully bowled. The batter goes inside out. Hits the ball to the sweeper cover region and that'll just be 1 run to the batter there. Ireland requiring 113 of 80 balls. This time flight delivery and goes with the drive through the cover regions, wide off, long off. 1 more run into the tally there. $112 required from 79. 1 last time in this over. Well flighted delivery. It turns away from the batter, tries to go with the shot. The ball goes in the air, 1 bounce and goes to the point fielder there. And dot ball to end the over, 52 for 1. Sindeep, I think I would be banking on the Irish wicketkeeper Lorcan Tucker to be the top scorer tonight. It's just that I'm have a lot of fascination towards wicketkeeper batters. With myself being a wicket-keeper batter, and Lorcan Tucker has been impressive with the bat. He's shown some good positive signs with the bat there, and he's definitely someone whom we need to watch under these conditions, especially here, and I'm probably banking on him, or probably even the current batter there, Tector out there in middle. He's someone who can pace the innings wonderfully, and he should be one of the top targets for Ireland to get rid of as early as possible. So that's the Hassaranga back into the attack and straight away starts with the googly. This is the man Ireland will have to be extremely wary about. Will they take the attack to him? Will they counter-attack to him? What is the plan going to be? Flighted delivery once again, googly, and the batter tries to step down. Hassaranga cleverly shortens his length. All the batter can do is adjust at the last moment and cuts it towards the backward point region. Picks up 1 run. Hassaranga there, struggling with something there. Well, this is something serious concern for Sri Lanka there. Hassaranga, 4 overs to be bowled from him. He is the main fan for Sri Lanka and serious concern there. He's pulled something. Is this a hamstring? Is this an injury for Hassaranga? This is a big factor in today's game. Hassaranga, the key bowler for Sri Lanka. Some concerns in the dressing room there for Sri Lanka. He's pulled something there. Seems like a hamstring. He's struggling out there in the middle. The physio is out. He's just bowled 2 balls. He's the trump card bowler. 4 crucial overs from Hassaranga. That was the key in tonight's game. Well. The ways of life and ways of universe. Unpredictable. And cricket can be a cruel game once again. And Hassaranga just 2 balls into his spell. The Sri Lankan fielders surrounding Hassaranga there as he's being treated by the physio. He's pointing towards his thigh, he's pointing towards his hamstring. Has he pulled up something seriously there? Is this a big concern for Sri Lanka, not just in this game, but in this entire tournament? Wanindu Hassaranga, the trump bowler, the main bowler who's been wonderful in this format of this game, the shortest format of this game. Malinga in the dressing room looks concerned. This could be a key factor. Who will bowl the 4 overs of Hassaranga if there is something serious out there? 111 required from 76 for Ireland. Ross Adair batting wonderfully at 32 of 20, and H. Tector just joining him there, scoring 10 runs of 11 balls. But Hassaranga is continuing his bowling here. Tries to bowl the leg spin once again. He's bowled the googly, short of a length delivery. The batter rocks back and pulls it to the deep mid-wicket region. 1 run there. Hassaranga seems to be comfortable there. He's not having a smooth run-up. He seems to be struggling. But eventually he's decided to continue to bowl out here. Hassaranga, 4 googlies on the trot. He's continuously bowling googlies, and the batter taps it to the deep mid-wicket region, and they pick up 2 runs. Clever batting out there. Taps it to the deep mid-wicket region gently, and they have sufficient time to come back for 2 runs. Sensible play against Hassaranga will be extremely key for the Irish batters there. Flighted delivery this time. A leg spinner there. All he can do is tap it to the point region. No run there. 108 required of 73. That's not the smooth run up. That's not the usual run up Hassaranga does. He's struggling out there with some muzzle there. Once again, flighted delivery. This is the googly. This is the reason we were talking about. This is the reason Hassaranga decided to bowl this over. A well-flighted delivery outside the off stump and a well-deceived googly, and the ball turns into the stumps, crashing into the middle stump, and the well-settled Ross Adair has to depart from here. A well-flighted delivery above the line of the batter, pitched in outside the off stump and crashing into the middle and the off stump. That was the very same reason Hassaranga hesitated to go off the field despite being injured, and here he is signaling something to the umpire. Probably he wants to get some taping done on his thighs to complete his quota of 4 overs. Hassaranga is a fighter. I'm definitely sure he'll come back on the field and complete his quota and play his contribution to secure the win for Sri Lanka in this World Cup opening game here for them. Wonderful ball, and Ross Adair has to depart for 34 of 23, and Ireland are now 56 for 2 after 8 overs, and the required run rate now slowly climbing to 9. 108 runs required of 72 balls. A wonderful character shown there by Hassaranga. Despite being injured, he's pulled something there. That's some serious concern there, but decided to continue the over. He did not walk away. He completed his over and picked up a wicket, and then signals to the umpire that he has to head back to the dressing room to put some taping done on his thighs, and probably he's going to come back soon to complete his 3 overs. Those 3 overs are going to be extremely crucial. As you can see, the wicket keeper Lachlan Tucker is out there in the middle. Completely missed the line of the ball there. Ross Adair dismissed of the last ball of the first over of Wanindu Hassaranga. And that'll be Dasan Shananka congratulating the bowler there for the wicket there. Hassaranga hits the stumps or majority of the times. A lot of googlies in the overs. 5 googlies in that over there. Consistently bowling wonderful deliveries. The last one especially well deceived. Forced him to drive the ball. It was in that sort of a length of good flight delivery. Tossed it up as Dasan Shananka, the skipper, brings himself on for the first time in this innings. 1 run off the first ball. Lokan Tucker will now take the strike for the first time. He's a promising wicketkeeper. He's a promising batter for Ireland who's shown some positive signs for them lately. And he's yet to get off the mark. Facing first time. Dasan Shananka, the ball kept low. He managed to get some bat. Taps it back to the bowler. Lasith Malinga having some words out there near the boundary with Matisha Pathirana there. He's passing on his expertise, all the years of experience. And Lasith Malinga, a well-deserved person who's there in the right place to groom these youngsters, giving some piece of advice, sharing some tips to Matisha Pathirana out there. Once again, well bowled delivery. He taps it to the fielder at the point region and the batters scamper for a quick single. The fielder has a shy at the batting end, keeper's end, but the batter well within the crease. 58 for 2 after 8.3. .58 for 2 after 8.3. Shanaka into his first over. 2 runs given off the first 3 balls. Hedge Tector. This needs to be a good partnership between the current pair out there. They need to stabilize the innings to get back into the game. And he's hit it past the bowler. And the fielder at the long on region will slide towards his left and cut the ball. And the batters having sufficient time to pick 2 runs out there. 164 the target. A late onslaught by the Sri Lankan batters, Kamindu Mendes and Kusal Mendes. Kamindu Mendes especially 44 of 19 with a strike rate about 240. That set the stage for Sri Lanka, who were batting at a run rate less than 6.5 for most part of the game. But eventually a good onslaught in the end takes them to 164 and Kusal Mendes reaching 50 there. An unbeaten 50 this time. Tries to guide it past the point fielder there. And that's good fielding there by Charita Hassaranga. A dot ball to end the over. Beg your pardon. There's one more ball into the over. Dasan Shananka 60 for 2. Iran 164 the target. Lower contractor trying to guide the ball there. Dasan Shananka running in. Bowls the slow one, leg cutter. Almost managed to receive the batter there, but it taps it down straight to the long on fielder. And the batters quickly run 2 runs there. Good communication and good running between the wickets there. They would have to do a lot of this to chase this target. Play some sensible cricket. Can Hassaranga come back to bowl his quota of 3 overs? He's injured something. He's pulled something on his thighs. Despite that, he continued his over and picked up the wicket of Ross Adair there. He's gone back to get some taping done by the physio into the dressing room. We will have to wait and watch. Will he be comfortable? Will he be well in shape to come and bowl the next 3 overs of his quota here? Well, this is not just a concern just for this match. Has he pulled something serious there? Is that a hamstring pull? Is Hassaranga going to be out of the World Cup tournament? We never know what's happened to his thigh out there. We'll be eagerly waiting to get some update from the dressing room and the Sri Lankan cricket board there. He is a key bowler for Sri Lanka, especially in Sri Lanka, and he is their trump card who's leading the bowling charge along with Mahesh Tikshana. 102 from 66. Pathirana coming into this attack. Wonderful low dipping Yorker, full toss into the wicket, and he taps it to the long on region, finds a single. The Irish batters will be keen to stabilize the innings, build a crucial partnership here, set small targets here. Don't think ahead of time. Let's just get to 100 somewhere around the 14th or 13 and a half over and take the game deep from there. That should be the strategy. That should be the mindset. Patirana running in once again. This time banks in a little bit short and the batter hits it through the cover region and the fielder from the sweeper region will run to his right and cut it off before it goes to the boundary. That'll just be 2 runs there for Tector. Ireland 165 for Ireland 65 for 2 after 9.2 overs with the required run rate now inching in towards 10 runs an over. Someone will have to play the aggressive role here. They need to build a partnership. They need to take some calculated risks. But Patirana is teaming in with his low yorkers and low full tosses. Let's see how things go ahead. This time once again banged in shot by Patirana. Goes for the pull late into the shot. Never in control of the shot here. Hedge Tector, and all he can manage is a top edge, but it falls into no man's land and rolls towards the long on field there. No damage done there. Just one run off the ball there. To all our listeners out there, hope you guys had your dinner and hope you enjoyed the wonderful cricketing spectacle action that's been going on from the past 2 days. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. What a spectacle it has been. The Netherlands-Pakistan game and the England-Nepal game. Beautiful games there. Narrowly managing victories for Pakistan and England there. This time finds the outside edge, goes towards the third man region. Protection out there in the deep end. That will just be 1 run. $67 for 2 after 9.4 overs. That's the equation there. The required rate slowly climbing towards 10. 9.39. Can Ireland? Can someone from the Irish camp produce some brilliance of magic this evening there? Wonderful Yorker there. Cramped him for room, but somehow he managed to French cut it and goes past the left of the keeper. Unlucky there and into the boundary. A wonderful ball from Patirana. Completely caught the batter in no man's land, but the batter somehow gets a bat onto it and the ball goes between his legs into the fence, and that's extremely unlucky. A wonderful ball, and the ball goes into the fence for 4 runs. Much required boundary for Ireland here. 71 for 2 after 9.5 overs. Unlucky for the Sri Lankans here. They will be extremely disappointed with that. Patirana for one last time in his second over, running in, banks in shot. That'll be a bouncer. The batsman is distraught with himself. That was meant to be hit. Couldn't get good connection on the bat. Only finds the edge of the bat and the ball goes to the fielder there, the deep fine leg region. That'll be just 1 run to end the over. And after 10 overs at the halfway stage of the second innings in this chase, Ireland are 72 for 2 and they require 92 exactly of the next 60 balls. The run rate now required is 9.2 of the last 10 overs. Who do you think from the Irish camp can play the knock to take Ireland home as they take on the host today, as they try to chase the target set by the host today, Sri Lanka, who have set 163 for 6. That's the story. 163 for 6 by Sri Lanka. Kusal Mendes played a wonderful knock of 56 not out. Kamindu 44 of 19. Nisanka 24 of 23. An uncharacteristic knock there by Nisanka. And for Ireland, Dockrell, wonderful bowling today. Simply a big fan of his left arms bowling. A wonderful display of spin bowling. A left arm spin bowling there. Reminding me of Mitchell Santner. A replica of Mitchell Santner 2.0 there. Ireland starting the chase. The captain struggling to time the ball was dismissed for 6 of 13. Cleaned up by Tikshana, and Hassaranga cleaned up Ross Taylor in the previous a couple of overs ago, and he was dismissed for 34 of 23. Once again, this time Shanaka back into the attack. The bowler hits it past the bowler And there's a chase from the mid-off fielder, and the fielder from the long on region will cut it off well within time before the boundary and keep the batsman to 2 runs. A lot of Irish support there, coming all the way from Dublin, to support their cricket team here at the R. Premadasa Stadium here in Colombo. Sri Lanka will be hoping to get a victory under the belt to carry that momentum into the favour, especially coming off the series loss against England at home. Taps it to the cover region, and the batter scamper for a quick single. Sam Curran, the player of the tournament there during the England tour of Sri Lanka, once again producing a wonderful piece of bowling earlier in the day today, as he defended 10 runs against Nepal in the final over, bowling 4 Yorkers in the end with the wet ball under pressure. A moment of brilliance and moment of magic from the young man there. Beautifully bowled there, as Nepal gave a wonderful fight to the English men out there. The match happened at Wankhede, Mumbai this afternoon, and England managing to narrow the win by 4 runs out there. For the first ever time, I saw Brendan McCullum sitting on the edge of his seat as Sam Curran ran in to bowl the last ball of the over with 6 runs required of the last ball. I mean, such were the scenes out there in the game in this afternoon. Never have I ever seen Brendan McCullum so tense on the last ball. He was literally on the edge of his seat as Sam Curran ran in to bowl that last ball. What a wonderful fight Nepal had put out today this afternoon. Well, coming back into this game, 9.37, that's the required run rate. 75 for 2 Ireland. A lot of support for them today at the Premadasa Stadium. Shanaka taking some time out there. Probably something wrong with the ball there. The umpire's checking the ball perhaps. To all our new listeners who just joined, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and please share it with your friends, family, relatives, grandparents, grandchildren, and pour in all the support you can. Thank you for being an integral part of Sports Beyond Cancer. Thank you for being an integral part of the sporting community. Thanks for all the love and support you guys have shown me, and thanks for the faith and belief you guys have shown in me. I promise I'll improvise over time and I'll come up with good content, more strategies, more better tools, and try to give a better sports commentary experience, which has been my inner calling over the years. And thankfully, cancer has brought the circle of life back to me, and here I am following my inner calling once again, but this time right from the comfort of my desk here. So that's the story so far. Sri Lanka, I'm not sure what's happened out there. There's been a delay. Is there something concerning with the lights or the ball? Nothing shown on the broadcast there. Some sort of concern out there. Romario Shepherd, the leading wicket taker in this tournament, 5 wickets yesterday against Scotland, picking up a hat-trick, even 4 overs in 1 wicket. The big man with the golden arm, always providing crucial breakthroughs, and yesterday was his night. 5 wickets in the opening game of the T20 World Cup. West Indies will be keen to get back into this format of this game and prove themselves. They are coming off 2 huge defeats against Afghanistan and South Africa, 2 series defeats, but their batters are the players are well accustomed to this format of this game, with the likes of Hetmeyer coming back, with the like of Rutherford, who's been in prime form, especially with the South Africa T20 League that just concluded. He created much havoc there with Breville Davis there, scoring about 340 runs in the entire tournament with a strike rate of 165 plus. And Romario Shepherd, the big man with the big muscles, and Roman Powell, a lot of fast bowling all-rounders there. Jason Holder, who bowled brilliantly too, 3 wickets yesterday, and Romario Shepherd picking up the beautiful fifer, including the hat-trick yesterday. So let's see how they fare in this tournament. This time, the last time they won in India when Carlos Brathwaite hit 4 sixes in the final when 21 runs were required of the final over as Ben Stokes bowled the final over. Carlos Brathwaite, 4 beautiful, huge shots. The man with the big muscles clearing the ropes in Kolkata with ease, giving West Indies the much-deserved victory in the T20 World Cup that year. And Shanaka is back in the attack. The play will continue. Not sure why there was a delay. Last ball of the over, 88. Last 2 balls. Wonderful Yorker angling into the batter, and he tucks it away towards the leg side. Only will get a single run there. The required run rate slowly climbing towards 9.5. 10.5 overs, 77 for 2. That's the sign out there at the R. Premadasa Stadium. Will this go down the wire just like the previous game? Will this go down to the last ball? Will we have a super over? Too early to say. Let's see how things go ahead today. Tucker waiting for Shanaka. A back of the hand delivery, a slow one, spots it early, stays back, watches till the end and cuts it to the deep point fielder there, backward point fielder there. 1 run to end the over. That'll be 78 for 2 after the end of the 11th over. Just 6 runs coming off the wonderful over ball there by the Sri Lankan captain there. 78 for 2 and 86 runs required of 54 balls. That's the equation out there, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Verlage has been thrown the ball. He comes back into attack. A short of a length delivery, rocks back onto his back foot, tries to pull it wide of the long on. Doesn't manage to get in between the 2 fielders there. Will only get 1 run there. Velalage angling the ball into the batter and he tucks it away wide off the long on fielder there. The batsmen have sufficient time to come back for 2 runs. Velalage wearing his pace wonderfully here today. The fastest one around 97.7, the slowest one around 80. I think that was around 80 or 81.5. I failed to notice it. Velalage to Tector. Lot of protection out there on the leg side. Can the batter go inside out? He makes room for himself and as expected he goes inside out, but he's hit it towards the sweeper cover region, doesn't get it towards the deep cover region. So all he can get is 1 run there. Good intention out there but fails to place the ball in the gap. Tucker there. Velalage wonderfully bowled, angling into the batter. And Tucker tries to step down the wicket but taps it back to the bowler. The bowler sensing the batter stepping out, shortens the length, and that'll be a dot ball. Beautiful bowling out there from Velalage. This time the batter goes for the reverse sweep, completely misses it. An appeal there from the keeper Kusal Mendes for an attempt to stumping. He's asking the question to the leg umpire. Wonderfully bowled, quicker through the air. The batter went for the reverse sweep, too close to go for the reverse sweep. Just goes beside the off stump. And Kusal Mendes quick in ripping the bails off, but the batter was well within his crease. No damage done there. Tucker this time bowls in short, darting into the wicket there, but the batter rocks back and pulls it. And they are coming back from the second run there. Tight call there. Too close call there. I think Kusal Mendes has missed the ball and has hit the stumps with his gloves. And that will be the end of the over. 2 runs to complete the over. 84 for 2 after 12 overs. Ireland requiring 80 runs of the last 8 overs. The run rate now exactly 10 runs per over. The required run rate, beg your pardon, exactly 10 per over. So that's the situation here out there in the middle from our Premadasa. To all the new listeners who are joining us, thank you for tuning in so late. It's 10:06 now. Thank you for joining in and thank you for staying in all the way to listen to this live commentary between Sri Lanka versus Ireland. I hope you guys are done with your dinner and hope you guys are enjoying this game. 80 runs required of 48. That's the situation out there at our Premadasa. Ireland have been playing cautiously the last few overs. The run rate has slowly climbed to 10 runs an over. Who is going to play the aggressive role? Hassaranga is back in the middle after having some taping done on his thighs, especially. He pulled some muscle out there. We're not sure yet, but he's struggling. He's not with his usual run-up. He doesn't have a smooth run-up. He's struggling with some muscle out there, but he's back. He's a fighting character, and he is back there to get his team. He is the leading wicket taker at this stadium. He's picked up 22 wickets, and he is the key for Sri Lanka here in this World Cup. Once again, googly there, but this time the batter rocks back and hits it straight past the bowler. And the long off fielders were extremely wide, and the ball tricks down into the boundary fence. 4 runs, much required boundary there for Tucker and Ireland. The Irish fans are on the toes in the stands. A half tracker there, and googly, and he had to rock back and wonderfully observed till the end. This time once again a half tracker, but this time he pulls it towards the wide of long on fielder. All he can get is 1 run there. Some sort of concern for Hassaranga, especially the way he pulled some muscle on his leg. I think it's right leg on his left leg. But he's come back here after getting some taping done by the physio. He wants to complete his spell here. Wonderfully bowled, angled into the stumps there. And he swipes it across to the deep fielder at deep mid-wicket region. That will be nothing more than 1 run for the batter there. Someone will have to take the calculated risk. The run rate is slowly climbing above. It's gone about close to 10 now, 9.9 to be precise. This time short, but he's cut it towards the sweeper cover region. The batter's running hard there, easily completing 2 runs. Good call, good communication, and good running between the wickets. The ball was just wide of the sweeper cover there, towards his right, and the batter's sensing an opportunity for the second there, communicating early and coming back for the second run. This time well flighted delivery. He goes for the wild slog towards the leg stump, only managed to get an inside edge onto his pads, and the ball rolls towards the point region and they complete an easy single, and that will be the end of the over. 10 runs of Hassaranga's over. That will be a good outing of Hassaranga's over any day for any team in the Premadasa Stadium. 70 runs required of 42 balls. That's the equation out there. The required run rate is 10 runs and over, with Lokan Tucker and Harry Tector building a partnership of 38 of 30. And Sri Lanka will be keen to get a couple of wickets here and hoping one brings into, while Ireland on the other hand will be keen to put some boundaries away and reach to around 110 or 120 by the end of the 15th over, so that they have a good chance going in for the last 5 overs. 94 for 2. Can they manage to get 16 runs in the next 2 overs? Set small targets and take the game deep as long as possible. That's how T20 is going to be played. And they need to play extremely sensibly. Target the right bowlers. Pick the shorter side of the ground and must be extremely, extremely calculative. Drinks break out there for the Irish batters. A change of helmet, perhaps. I beg your pardon. A change of gloves there. Hector there, sweating profusely out there in the middle there. R. Premadasa Colombo, and the batter is sweating profusely out there in the middle as he's eager to get his team over the line. Batting at 16 of 15. Sri Lanka at this stage were 84 for 3 after 13. Ireland 10 runs ahead of them with a wicket in hand. The required run rate is 10, and Mahisha Tikshana, wonderful. Oh, that's a lot of width there. The ball flies over the fielder at the short point region, and he puts in a full strength, full-fledged jump over the air, but still manages to go over him, and it flies to the boundary. 4 runs. A lot of width on offer there, and the batter tries to cut it, doesn't manage to keep it in the ground. The ball flies in the air, goes past the fielder, and curls towards the third man region. 4 runs for Tikshana there, for Tucker there. This time wonderfully bowled, good length ball, angled into the wicket batter there, and he taps it wonderfully to the fielder at long on. Mahisha Tikshana, 2.2 overs, 14 runs, 1 wicket. He's bowled wonderfully. And removed the Ireland captain out there. Yorked him out today. Clean bowled in his first over. 99 for 2, 13.2 overs. The required rate just below 10. This time, hit back straight at the bowler. That'll be a dot ball. Pressure building there, every dot ball building pressure there. Tikshana wonderfully bowled, slower through the air, and the ball pitches on middle and turns into the batter, and the batter's trying to scamper for the second run. A direct hit, and that would have been curtains for Tucker there. Wonderful throw out there from the deep there. Towards the bowling end. A good throw, fierce throw. And the batsman would have made it. Wonderful running there by the Irish batting pair out there. Taps it short of the long on fielder and easily run for 2 runs. Sensible batting. Once again, they're taking on the arm. This time, once again, that was a risky run. They're taking the risks here. Once again, the throw comes in from the long on fielder, and Mahisha Tikshana collects the ball, fails to dislodge the stumps. How close was it? Good running out there by Tucker. They have picked up 4 runs of the last 2 balls of very good deliveries. Sensible batting against the spinners out here. The conditions are hot. He's sweating profusely, but is giving it all for his team out there. And that'll be 1 run to the backward point region. And that'll be end of the 14 overs. 104 for 2, and that'll be drinks out there on the field. 6 overs left. That's all it takes. 60 runs required from 36 balls. And that's the equation for Sri Lanka, for Ireland out there. Let's bring in the scorecard for you. That has been the story so far. Paul Sterling struggling to time the ball. 6 runs of 13. Cleaned up by a Yorker by Tikshana. Ross Adair bowled by Hassaranga of a wonderful googly, but he batted well. 34 of 23, 5 fours and 1 6 there. And Harry Tector and Lorcan Tucker have been carrying the proceedings since then, solidifying the innings, playing cautiously, taking the calculated risks, Harry Tector 38 of 31 and Lorcan Tucker 21 of 17. They have been piercing through the gaps and timing the ball gently in between the gaps, between the fielders and running hard, and they have been piling up the pressure on the Sri Lankan cap. Sri Lanka will be eager to get a breakthrough here as they want to get through the lower middle order of the Irish lineup here. Ireland will be keen to get a couple of boundaries in the next 2 overs. They will be looking to get at somewhere around 112 to 115 by the end of the 15th and take the game deep from there. So that is the story here out there from the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that India is gonna be the first country to ever defend the T20 title? No ever team has been able to defend the T20 title successfully. Can India break the history here? And also no team has managed to win the T20 World Cup at home. Can India do the unthinkable here? We have to see how the tournament goes on. Can India do this? Break the history this time? 2 histories in the reckoning. 60 runs required of the last 6. The game once again poising for a good end here on the second night, the second day of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026, co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. What wonderful games we have had on our cards. 5 wonderful games, and now we are on to the 6th one as Sri Lanka earlier were put into bat by Ireland, managing a score of 164 with Kusal Mendes and Kamindu Mendes batting wonderfully, and Kamindu especially 44 of 19, being the aggressor in the end, giving them the much required cushion to get to a safe score of 164. And then Ireland now 104 for 2. They have played cautiously, especially this pair. They have built a good partnership, 48 of 36, but can they get 60 of the net 36? Banged in shot there outside the off stump. He cuts it towards the backward point region. 1 run for the fielder there, for the batter there. .41. The partnership currently 49 of 37. Who is going to take the calculated risk? Someone has to play deep amongst them. Someone will have to carry their bat all along till the end. This time, poor shot there. Poor shot from Lorcan Tucker there. He has to depart. A short pitch delivery angled into the batter. A good length delivery, beg your pardon. It was too short to go for the pull shot. It wasn't too short to go for the pull shot, beg your pardon. He went in with the shot and only managing to find the fielder at long on there. An easy catch there. And he has to depart. That'll be the first wicket for Vittalmurthy here as Lorcan Tucker has to make his way back towards the dressing room, caught by Kamil Mishra. Bowled Dunit Vittalmurthy, 21 of 18. Curtis Camphor, the new batter out there in the middle. Beg your pardon for Ireland there. The South African. Oh, that was too close. He had backed away too much towards the leg side and the ball was too close to the stumps. misses the keeper, and the batsers will easily take a bye run there. Curtis Camphor, born in Johnsburg, 26-year-old, the right-arm batter, walks out there in the middle. Once again, banged in short, angling into the border. He backs away and pulls it towards the deep mid-wicket region. 1 run to the tally there. H. Tector, will he be the key for Ireland? He's played an anchoring knock of 40 of 33. Can he take the bat, carry his bat throughout the innings and take Ireland home? Well flighted delivery this time. Camphor tries to go over the top towards the deep mid-wicket region. All he can manage is 2 runs as the ball falls short of the fielder there, running in from the deep mid-wicket region. Perfectly placed in between the 2 fielders there. Poor shot there. He wanted to go big. He wanted to take on the bowler there. Fails to get good connection there. All they can manage is 2 runs. This time he goes across the off stump and beautifully scoops the ball towards the fine leg region, wide of the fielder there from deep square leg, and the ball, couple of bounces, trickles down into the rope, and that brings the Irish fans onto the toes as they all celebrate the wonderful shot to bring the end of the over, and that'll be 9 runs coming off the over, and Ireland now requiring 51 runs of the last 5 overs, and the required run rate now climbing just about 10.19, and just 9 runs coming off the over. Mahisha Tikshana has 1 more over in his spell. The key would be Hassaranga. He has 2 more overs left in his spell. How are Sri Lanka going to utilize the resources of Hassaranga? Will he bowl the 17th and the 19th, or will he bowl the 16th and the 18th? Let's see what decision Shanaka takes here. "31 dots in the innings for Ireland so far. They've run extremely well between the wickets. 35 singles for them. They've rotated the strike. Hassaranga, as expected, coming into bowl is 3rd over, and straight away picking up a wicket. H. Tector is gone. The match winner for Sri Lanka, Hassaranga. A tossed up delivery, angling into the pads there, and he moves his front leg away and goes for the wild slog towards the deep mid-wicket region, straight down the throat of the fielder there. Toss the ball slower through the air, and a beautiful ball there for Hassaranga. And is this the end of the hope? Was this the last hope? Sanat Jayasuriya pumping his fist out there in the dugout. He knows that this is a big wicket. Harry Tector, a settled batter, departs, and Hassaranga has picked a crucial wicket there. Ireland are 113 for 4 now. Suddenly out of nowhere, 2 wickets have fallen within no time. "51 required of 29. And Ben Khalid is out there in the middle to take the strike now. 2 new batters out there in the middle, Curtis Camphor and Benjamin Khalid. Ben Khalid can hit the long ball. He has a strike rate of 146. This time goes across the off stump, tries to sweep the ball, only to find an edge, and the ball goes towards the deep square leg region. 1 run to the batter there, and is off his mark. Tried to hit the ball too hard. Well flighted delivery there, tempted him into the shot. Hassaranga, the experienced campaigner who's picked up the most number of wickets for Sri Lanka in this format of this game at the R. Premadasa Stadium. 22 for Malinga, and he's picked up 24 or 25, I'm not sure exactly, but he tops the list here at Premadasa. Once again, well flighted delivery, pitching outside the off stump, the batter coming across the off stump, hitting on his pads. That'll be not out. Dot ball there. Crucial dot ball there. 50 of 27 required. Someone would have to manufacture Some shots out there. Hassaranga running through the Ireland innings here. Once again, a well-flighted delivery comes to the pitch of the ball, and he hits it to the long on region all along the ground. That'll just be one run. Khalid with a strike rate of 143. Ireland will be hoping that he gets in a couple of hits here to bring the hopes back to the Irish dressing camp. This time, once again, short on the length here, and the batter comes way outside the off stump, pulls it all the way from outside the off stump towards the long on region. That'll just be one run to the batter there. Hassaranga, flighted delivery, googly there, rocks back and taps it towards the sweeper cover region. One run out there. Sandeep, one bowler that they could target is, I'm not sure, with 4 overs to left. Hassaranga will be bowling 1 over, and Tikshana will be bowling 2 more overs. They would have to target the other over. I'm not sure who's going to be given the responsibility there. Maybe Chamira or Matisha Patirana or Shanaka. They would have to target that particular over. They could probably target Tikshana and the other bowler, but Hassaranga has 1 over as well as Tikshana has 1 over. 4 overs to be bowled. They would have to target the remaining 2 overs. Probably one from Chamira and one from Matisha Patirana. The spinners giving a tough time out there for the Irish batters. Wonderful, wonderful display of spin bowling all through this game. First from the Ireland and now from Sri Lanka. 47 required of 24. The run rate now inching towards 12. Tikshana into the attack. Quicker one. Angling into the body of the batter there. He tries to pull it. Only managed to pull it towards the deep mid-wicket region just for 1 run. 46 of 23. Is this the over they are going to target with 6 wickets in hand? 46 of 23. Khalid, who has a strike rate of 143 plus. I'm not sure precise, but 143 plus. This time tries to go down the ground. A half tracker there hits it straight past the bowler, and the fielder at long off region will cut off, and the batters by then will easily cross over for 2 runs. Wonderful bowling there from Tikshana. 3.2 overs, and he's into his last over, just given away 22 runs and picked away the big wicket of Paul Sterling, the Irish skipper there. Great fielding out there. Appreciation from the bowler there. Tikshana. And he has missed the line of the ball. Charges down the wicket, and the bowler cleverly shortening his length, and the ball kept low, and Kusal Mendes, making no mistake there, whips the bail in the flash, and Khalid has been stumped out. A wonderful ball. Saw the baller coming in, drops his length, the ball pitches and turns outside the off stump of the left-hander, and Tikshana picking up his 2nd wicket of the day. Wonderful bowling at display there. Charged in too early, tried to hit the ball too hard, and Khalid has to take the long walk back. Dismissed for 4 runs of 4 balls. Stump Kusal Mendes. Ball Tikshana. Ireland 120 for 5, requiring 44 of 21 balls. Definitely Sandeep missing the O'Brien brothers, especially Kevin, would have given them a big win here. And also going back to earlier days, Ewan Morgan was one of the key players there. He went on to play for England, went on to captain England, and he went on to win the World Cup for England. So pretty much missing those 2 players there, especially the O'Brien brothers, the Kevin O'Brien and the wicketkeeper O'Brien brother, as well as Ewan Morgan there. They were the stalwarts of Ireland during our childhood days. Thank you for taking me back there, and thank you for making us all nostalgic out there. 44 runs required of 21. Once again, Tikshana Delni has to go without troubling the scorers. That'll be a golden duck here. Tikshana turning the tide for Sri Lanka here. The ball stopping on the batter there. Delni caught in no man's land, went early into the shot, tried to make a last minute adjustment there, only to find the edge of the bat and the ball flies in the air and an easy catch for the fielder there at short third man region. Tushant Tamira completing the catch. Yet again, 2 wickets of 2 consecutive balls. And once again, I'm excited. Will there be another hat-trick today? We had an hat-trick on the day one yesterday. Romario Shepherd taking an hat-trick against Scotland. Will Tikshana get in a hat-trick today? He's on a hat-trick currently. And he has one more ball, if I'm not sure. Yes, he has 2 more balls to go in his spell. Can Tikshana bring in the hat-trick now? Ireland requiring 44 of 20 balls here. They are crumbling here. Dockrell is out there in the middle. Sudden collapse there. The spinners tormenting Irish batters. Hat-trick ball once again. Ladies and gentlemen, hat-trick ball. Will we witness a hat-trick once again today? Oh, he backs off and taps it off towards the long off region. 1 run there. I mean, I'm always excited whenever there's an hat-trick ball, always eagerly waiting because T20 has always been a batter's game and it's good to see bowlers picking up hat-tricks and it always excites me that this game also has something in for the bowlers despite all the rules, all the laws and all the fans loving the big sixers with the shorter grounds and lots of rules in favor of the batters. I'm always hoping that there's some justice for the bowlers there and always excited whenever there is an opportunity for hat-trick there. Wonderfully bowled there. Yorker there. Beautifully bowled. Just 4 runs off the over and 2 wickets off the 4 runs and 2 wickets off the over. Wonderful spell there by Mahisha Tikshana. Picking up 3 wickets for 23. What a spell there from the Sri Lankan skipper there. He's put Sri Lanka into the winning position, 121 for 6 of 17. That's the stage. That's what Ireland find themselves in. They require 43 of 18 in this last game of the second day of the opening, second game of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. Wonderful display of spin bowling there from Mahisha Tikshana. Wonderful bowling. Just gave away 4 runs in this pressure situation. Also picks up 2 wickets and completely putting Sri Lanka in the right position towards the winning position here. Hassaranga this time well flighted delivery and he backs away towards the leg side and then goes to a slog sweep towards the mid-wicket region. 1 bounce towards the fielder at deep mid-wicket region. That'll just be 1 run into the tally. Can someone produce a moment of magic here or have the Irish left it too late? 42 of 17. Hassaranga, who's bowled brilliantly despite the injury he's been carrying. He was injured during the first over, pulled some muscle on his leg. Once again, short of a length delivery, turning in, and he pulls it straight. And a good diving fielding there from the fielder there at long on. Stop the boundary there, and that'll just be 2 runs. A full stretch dive out there for the fielder in the deep. And a wonderful fielding there by Mishara. Full stretch dive, gets his left hand and saves the boundary there. Appreciation coming in there from the captain there. Wonderful commitment and dedication out there. Hungry for the ball, eyes on the ball till the end, and manages to stop the ball well within the ropes. .40 required of 16. Can someone produce a moment of brilliance here? He tries to go big, goes across the line, and that'll be well stopped there by the fielder there. Pawan Ratnanayake there, stopping the ball within the boundary fence there. And he's stopped the ball from going into the fence at the deep mid-wicket region. The bowler walked across the off stump, tried to manufacture the shot, and goes for the wild slog. One bounce and a good fielding effort there from the fielder out there, Deep. This time the batter charges down the ground, and that'll be yet another wicket for Hassaranga. Caught it long off, didn't time the ball well there. Flighted through the air, he comes out, steps out, charges down the ground, hits it straight in the air. Poor timing, poor shot selection. Deliberately flighted in, tempted the batter there, draws the batter out of the crease, and he hits it straight down the throat of the field there at mid-off. And that'll be curtains for the batter there. He would have to depart. Camphor would have to depart. Is this the end of the chase for Ireland there? Is this the end of the tale for Ireland in this World Cup opener for them? Camphor dismissed for 13 of 11. Caught Shanaka, ball Hassaranga. Ireland 126 for 7 after 17.4 overs. To all the listeners out there, hope you enjoyed the commentary of the second day of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup right here at Sports Beyond Cancer. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and thank you for all the love and support and faith you've shown for my justice, for my fight, and for my passion to pursue sports journalism right now. Unable to do it from the ground, but I'm still striving to do it from the comfort of my home as I enter the remission phase. So 126 for 7 after 17.4 overs. Mark Adair, he can strike the ball to a strike rate of 128. Hassaranga 17.4 overs. Sri Lanka were extremely worried when he pulled some muzzle, especially off his first over. Oh, almost chopped it on back to his stump. Lucky, narrow escape for the batter there. Makes way outside the off stump, tries to go big. An inside edge, rolls back to his pads. No much damage done there. And the Sri Lankan fans are extremely happy in the stands. What a character Hassaranga, despite pulling a muzzle, completed his first over, removed the dangerous wicket of Ross Adair, and then goes back to the dressing room and does some taping onto his thighs along with the help of the physio, and he's back here. What a character he's shown here. With the injury, he's not been able to bowl with a smooth run up. Despite that, he's completed his 4 overs with just 2 balls into the game. He picked up an injury on his muscle. Not sure what the injury is all about, but he stands tall. What a character. Bowls 4 overs, 25 runs, 3 wickets, 4 crucial overs. There were concerned looks on the faces of all the Sri Lankan players as well as the management and the team there when Hassaranga pulled that muzzle after bowling just 2 balls, and despite it all, he bowled the 4 overs and picks up 3 for 23. "36 of 12, 18 runs required per over now. The Ireland have left it too late. Sandeep Premadasa is definitely one of the best grounds, but personally I like the stadium in the Gale Stadium, as well as I like the stadium in I'm not sure about the name of the stadium. It starts something with P2. The stadium in Kandy too. Those two are beautiful too. They are very, very scenic. I'm talking just in terms of the scenic perspective and the ambience perspective, not in regards to how the pitch conditions behave. So yeah, Premadasa is definitely a good one, but I just prefer Galley and Kandy over Premadasa. First ball, wild swing by the batter there, and he's beaten. That'll be a dot ball. 28 for 7. Chamira running in. Dockrell, a slower ball. A leg cutter. He goes over the infield and the ball rolls towards the long off field. That'll be just one run. Wonderful, wonderful character Hassaranga as we look at the highlights. Picking up 3 for 23. Serious concerns when he held on to his thigh. Looked like hamstring or he has pulled some muscle after the first two balls. He continues to bowl the first over. He completes the first over, picks the wicket of Ross Adair, settled Ross Adair off the last ball, then goes back into the dressing room, asking the umpire for permission so that he gets some taping done onto his thighs. And he comes back once again and completes his spell. And what a match winning performance he has delivered for Sri Lanka in their opening game at home. 129 for 7 and 35 or required of 10. And he goes over the infield, inside out. The ball goes over the uh, cover region. The batters scamper back for 2 runs. Yes, Sandeep Palakere, that was the name I was thinking about. Premadasa has had some iconic matches, definitely. And Gale, definitely for the test matches. And as soon as you talked about test matches, it brings me the memories of Muthia Muralitharan as well as Rangana Herath. I mean, how much they have tormented the legendary batters over the years. I probably believe Michael Clarke, who was one of the world's best batters, especially in the test formats. During the fag end of the careers of the spinners there. And he and his Australian team would have experienced especially the Rangana Herath after Muralitharan retired. Rangana Herath was extremely unlucky. He couldn't get the much deserved chance because he was always under the shadows of Muthia Muralitharan. But Rangana Herath was also a wonderful bowler. And he's done some serious damage there in Gale. He's troubled the opposition. Once again, this time, he walks down towards the offside, makes some room, and that's a full toss. He's flicked it towards the fine leg for 4 runs. A beautiful shot there. Premeditated shot, and Dasung Shanaka is not happy there. Poor ball there from the senior pro, Chamira. 27 required of 7. 2 big hits. Can they do it in this over? Can they still manage to pull something? Take it to the last over. This time, slow ball tries to go big. No good connection out there. Dasun Shanaka running in from long off towards his left. Easily completes the catch. 27 of 6 there. Just 9 runs coming off the over. That was a slow leg cutter, well outside the off stump, and that's the last sink thrown in there from Ireland. That would be Curtains. Dasun Shanaka running wide towards the long off region, towards his left, and completing an easy catch. And Mark Adair has to depart for 10 of 6. And Ireland almost done in this game. 137 for 8. They were completely done by the Sri Lankan pace spinners. That is what I was always worried about. The 12 overs, but mainly I was worried about the 8 overs from Theekshana and Hassaranga. But Velalege chipping in there as well. Hassaranga and Theekshana picking 3 wickets apiece. Hassaranga, despite the injury, standing tall there for the team, taping up the muzzle pull and coming back and delivering a match-winning performance of 3 for 25, while Theekshana picking up 3 for 23. Last over to go, 27 runs required of 6 balls. 5 hits to the fence over the ropes will take Ireland home here. Well, who's going to be bowling last over? Every run is going to matter here in this league stage. The Sri Lankan team should not take this lightly. Every single run can cost them a place into the next phase of this tournament, given the net run rate comes into play big time, especially during such tournaments. 27 runs required of the last over. .25 of the 5 now, and the bowler goes past the fielder at mid-off, and that'll be a boundary for the Irish batter there, Dockrell. Every single run matters there. Ireland trying to reduce the deficit here. They know net run rate would well come into play, and to fight till the end. They had tried their best, but one Hindu Hassaranga, the king of our Premadasa Stadium, he's picked up the most number of wickets in this format on this very particular ground, once again tormenting the batters. And to add along with him, Theekshana picking up 3 for 23, bowled wonderfully Yorkers, and change of pace there this time, wide of the off stump, and he tries to cut it over the fielder there at sweeper cover and ends up hitting it straight down his throat. That will be an easy catch. A wonderful catch from Kamindu Mendes here. Kamindu Mendes was the man that set the score for Sri Lanka here. Sri Lanka was struggling at 6.5 runs and over around the 13th or the 14th over. Walked in Kamindu Mendes, scoring a 19 ball 44 and taking Sri Lanka, who looked to score somewhere around 135 to 140 to all the way to 160 plus. Kamindu Mendes, a beautiful knock today. A big knock with a strike rate about 240, smashing 44 runs of 19. He set the stage for Sri Lanka earlier after they were put into bat by Ireland, with the Sri Lankan batters struggling initially, including the likes of Kusal Mendes, who struggled with his timing the ball and who was almost close to a run a ball a knock. Eventually stayed on till the end and managed 54 odd runs of 39 or 38 balls. But the main star behind Sri Lanka reaching such a good target, defendable target, was Kamindu Mendes, coming late into the innings, scoring a 19 ball 644. He set the stage for Sri Lanka. Pathirana. He set the stage with the bat and then with the ball. Hassaranga and Theekshana picking 3 wickets each and taking the game away from the Irish counterparts there. The Ireland will be extremely disappointed. They bowled poorly in the last 3 overs and they were poor in the field, dropping 4 catches within a span of 9 balls, especially during the 17th and the 18th over. And they dropped 3 catches in 1 over of Humphreys, with 1 ball going for 2 runs, with 1 drop chance going for 2 runs, and the other drop chance going for 3 runs, and the other drop chance going all the way for 6 runs. Those runs that's costed Ireland here. And Matisha Pathirana bang on hits the target and he's all smiles, and the stumps goes cartwheeling there, and Sanat Jayasuriya and Lasith Malinga, the coaches of Sri Lankan cricket team, are extremely happy there. The fans are on the toes, the flags are up in the air, the Sri Lankan flag is up in the air. The local fans are dancing as Sri Lanka win the game wonderfully by 20 runs. Sri Lanka begin the World Cup campaign on a winning note as Ireland defeat Ireland by 20 runs. A wonderful start to Sri Lanka that will give them the much required momentum going ahead into this tournament, especially after the home series defeat against England. This win will mean the world to them going ahead in this World Cup, especially given that they are the host nation. A wonderful start to the tournament to them. Good batting there by Kamindu Mendes along with Kusal Mendes. And what a good display of spin bowling in tandem from Vanindu Hassaranga and Mahisha Theekshana, picking 3 wickets apiece and completely strangling the Irish batting order there. Well, the Irish will be kicking themselves. They have no one else to blame apart from themselves. Poor fielding from them, especially in the 17th, 18th and the 19th over, dropping 4 catches within a span of 4 balls. and with the likes of indisciplined bowling, especially in the 19th over, a prolonged long over, a no ball and four wides coming off one single over in spite of picking up two wickets, a dramatic over, and that's the end of the sixth game of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Sri Lanka comfortably winning the game by 20 runs. And let me put the scorecard on for you. Paul Sterling dismissed for six, bowled of Tikshana. Ross Adair bowled by Hassaranga. Harry Tector played a wonderful knock of 40 of 34. And Lokan Turker there, 21 of 18. And nothing much to be mentioned in the scorecard there, as they crumble to the spinners trio of Tikshana, Velalage and Hassaranga. Velalage picking up one wicket there, 1 for 28. And that'll be the end of the game as Sri Lanka win their first game and the ICC Men's T20 World Cup campaign. So that's all the story for today. 3 games happened today, and let's give a quick recap. New Zealand earlier won the game by 5 wickets, defeating Afghanistan wonderfully. And then there was a good turnaround by Nepal fans at the Wankhede Stadium, and they managed to give the English a big scare. What a match that was. Nepal giving England the toughest fight, as England narrowly managing to win the game by 4 runs, courtesy a wonderful last couple of overs by Sam Curran, especially the last over, with 10 runs required, only giving away 5 runs, bowling 4 Yorkers in the end. And finally, the 6th game of the World Cup and the last game for today, the 3rd game of today, Sri Lanka winning the first game of this World Cup encounter right there at the R. Premadasa Stadium, Colombo. Easily winning the game by 20 runs. They struggled initially with the bat. The batters were batting at one stage with a run rate of less than 6.3 run rate. And then Kamindu Mendes coming in and trying to accelerate the innings and scoring 44 runs of 19 with a strike rate of 247 strike rate. And he puts up a decent total on board. And then in the chase, beautiful bowling there by Tikshana and Wanindu Hassaranga. A big word of appreciation for Wanindu Hassaranga once again. 2 balls into his spell, he felt something pull on his thighs. Probably a hamstring, or probably he pulled some muscle. There was a scare in the Sri Lankan camp. They sensed that Hassaranga would have to walk back away without completing his quota of 4 overs. He had just bowled 2 balls into his spell, but Hassaranga, showing character out there, stood there firm, bowled the first over, took the wicket of the well-settled Ross Adair, and then requested the umpire if he can go back to the dressing room to get some taping done on his thigh with the help of the physio. Comes back once again onto the field and completes his spell of 4 overs, because he knew how important he was on this wicket. He is the highest wicket taker in the T20 format on the R. Premadasa Stadium. Picks up 3 for 20 odd runs, sets the stage for victory along with Tikshana in tandem. Both of them picking 3 wickets apiece, and they taking Sri Lanka home, and that brings them the first points on board in this ongoing World Cup. The fans are happy at the R. Premadasa Stadium. So that's how the things proceeded all together today. Thank you, Sandeep, for all the comments. Thank you for appreciating, and thank you for acknowledging for me covering 6 games within 12 hours of commentary. Thank you. Definitely a lot of love for sports and sports journalism. Thank you very much. Hope you had your meal too. Thank you. Stay tuned for more action. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Hope you enjoyed the cricket today. See you soon once again. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of the story here from the R. Premadasa. And well deservingly, as rightfully predicted, the man of the match should rightfully go to Kamindu Mendes. And despite the efforts from Tikshana and Hassaranga, despite the injury, him coming on to bowl, the match was set because of the innings from Kamindu Mendes. They were going at 6.3, less than 6.5 runs per over at 13th or 14th over. He walked in and changed the dimensions there for Sri Lanka. There were 10 scenes around the camp. He walked in, slammed 44 runs of 19 balls. That was the big change. The strike rate of 232. Beg your pardon, I've been saying it as 247 since the start. Strike rate of 232, and he set the stage. He was extremely lethal with the reverse shots. Wonderful sweeps going down the ground. That set the stage as Sri Lanka managed to go, who at once looked like they were going to end up at 130 or 135 odd runs, and he took them all the way to 164. Wonderful knock. Kusal Mendes, who eventually managed to get to 53, struggled to time the ball for the first 35 odd balls. He was almost close to a runnable knock, and then eventually finding some boundaries in the end, and he gets a well-deserved 52. So well-deservedly, Kamindu Mendes getting the player of the match for today. And that's all, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining into Sports Beyond Cancer. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and I hope I did some justice to covering the games, and I hope you all recognize the effort behind this live stream commentary right from the comfort of my desk. And I please kindly request you to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more cricketing action, and please hit the bell icon. We are on a quest to get past the 500 benchmark for subscribers so that I can add in the super chat that will aid me towards my medical expenses. So please hit the subscribe button as we aim to reach the 500 mark as soon as possible. So that's the end of the game, gentlemen. Thank you for joining in. Stay tuned for more cricketing action. We'll be joining in tomorrow for more games out there. It's a cricketing spectacle. It's a spectacle for cricket fans out there. So tomorrow we have 3 games on the cards. Scotland will be taking on Italy in the Group C encounter, and in Group B, Zimbabwe will be taking on Oman at Colombo, and South Africa later in the day will be taking on Canada at Ahmedabad. So that's the 3 games for tomorrow. And beg your pardon, I forgot to mention that Scotland will take on Italy in Kolkata, the city of joy. So that's how the things look for tomorrow. Win for New Zealand, England and Sri Lanka today. That's the end of the story of the day 2 of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Hope all you cricketing fans and sporting fans enjoyed the cricketing gaming action as well as our live stream and commentary. Stay tuned and keep supporting the sport, not just cricket. Keep following all the sports and all the sporting actions, and welcome to our sporting community. We'll strive hard to improve our content. We'll strive hard to bring in more tools to give better live stream. We'll strive hard to bring in more animations to all you fans. Please drop in the... Don't forget to hit the subscribe buttons. Thank you for joining with us for all the 3 games. Thank you for all the love. This is Shourabh Vittalmurthy signing off. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and hope you guys sleep well. Thank you and have a great time.